Hello, my friends. Today's Rotten Research is brought to you by the Gestor Search Journals. Okay, this is a scary thing that I am reading, and I just wanted to share it. So let's just look over here on what page it's on. Herpes virus reactivation and socioeconomic position. Community-based study. Oh my. These people did a study. We're going to read page 666. Go figure. Let me just read through it, and then I'll follow me through. I know some of it's going to get technical. What I'll try my best to do is to skip over all the letters. Okay, we're just going to kind of assume. So I'll say, maybe like the thing, or they said that, something about. I'll just kind of try to keep it as non-boring as possible, because locked inside this little page out of this journal was some really interesting information. So the abstract says background. So here's the background of the study. Elevated antibodies, and I might say some of these words wrong, so get over it. Elevated antibodies to latent herpes viruses have been demonstrated to be a reliable marker of diminished cellular immunity, and recently have been associated with low socioeconomic position, or this SEP, in older adults. So it's been associated with the SEP in older adults. So that's recent. Extending these oh, by the way, this came out in 2010. I want to say, what was the date again? Yes, 2010. Okay, so good bit ago. Extending these observations in a community-based study, so let's give them an idea, over a wide range, would provide an important new direction for investigating mechanisms underlining poor health outcomes in individuals with low socioeconomic position. So the methods: anti-herpes simplex virus and anti-Epstein-Barr virus antibodies were measured in blood samples from 1,457 adults aged 25 to 90. Regression models were then used to determine the relationships between viral reactivation, age, gender, ethnicity, and their socioeconomic position. And the results say individuals were significantly more likely to have higher antiviral antibodies, example for reactivation, in both the Epstein-Barr virus and the whatever the other one was, I can't remember now, than just in one alone. And we were just, is it down here? It's going to tell me here in a minute. Yeah, because both of these viruses have something in common. At the best, 80% of us have both of these inside us, not just one, but both. 80% of the population has both of them. If 80% has one and 80% have one, what are the odds, right? Something like that. I'm sure my math is wrong and somebody's going to be calculating that. That's wrong. It would only be 42%. Well, goody on you. Yay, Mr. Calculator Man comes in to save the day because Joni can't do math. Well, whatever, a lot of us, okay? A whole bunch of us. A lot of us. Now, see, that's a lot of people. I could use that to my advantage. So they have these markers. That's why I said that the elevated, I'm sorry, where am I? The individuals were significantly more likely to have higher antiviral antibodies or reaction activation to both of these if you have both of them than if you just have one. And individuals in the lowest age group had less activation. So the younger you are, the less reactivation you've had. You're still getting your first doses. You haven't gotten the second rounds yet. Individuals in the lowest age group had, I just said that, whereas greater reactivation was observed in women and those with the least education. So being stupid, that's just fancy talk for they think you're dumb. This is where we get into things where there's arguments about racism and stuff. And we all know that it's been created, but they specifically were looking at incomes. They were specifically looking at these things here. And I always find that interesting. How much education do they have? You know, how many books have we brought over to share with them with the missionaries? I don't know. Those people have a greater risk. Let's see. So it goes on to talk about all of, of course, we all know minorities and all of that. So conclusions. And these results demonstrate that herpes virus reactivation is associated with variables such as our age, our gender, our ethnicity, and our education, and may play a role in poorer health outcomes in both younger and older adults. So anybody that's in these areas back in 2010 when they published this, they could have been working on that. They could have said, whoa, hang on a minute. We need to really clean up the cities. I know we've been saying we want to do that, but we really need to do something because look, this says, but they don't do that, do they? They never do that. This is because it gets in the hands of the bad guy. So let me keep reading because it does go on to say some really interesting things. I already discussed the fact that it says that both of these, one has 70 to 80%, the other people 85%. These are actually somewhat low numbers from what I've seen in the past, but we'll just go with it. That's still a lot of fucking people. And of course, you would be recognizing this if you've ever had chickenpox and then had a flare of zoster or shingles. That's a reactivation of that previously. So they're talking about who gets sick more than others. Let's see. So it does say this. In I'm starting down here at the bottom near the page number. In previously infected individuals, antiviral antibodies are always present and are tightly regulated by the immune system due to the control over viral reactivation by cytotoxic T cells. Therefore, levels of herpes virus antibodies in healthy individuals are extremely stable. However, a dysfunction of the immune system permits viral reactivation and leads to increased levels of antiviral antibodies. For instance, the well-documented age-related declines in cellular immunity are associated with increased herpes virus antibodies. Increased means you have more of the antibodies. Your body has seen it a lot of times. Several studies have also demonstrated that stress downregulates the T cell immunity, resulting in productive cycles of viral replication and increased production of antiviral antibodies and increased production of these antibodies. And what is stress? Everything we just experienced. We had a worldwide stressful moment. We're all having a stressful moment. So all of this is, if you have it in you, if you have these viruses in you, which according to this paper, at least 80% of you do, you're going to have reactions. You're susceptible to reactions, especially if you live in poor, uneducated females. There's also some stuff I'm going to show later about males, and ethnicities. I mean, go figure. These are designer. They've got their designer vaccines all right. So it goes on to say that it does a bunch of sciencey stuff here. And says viral DNA levels in samples from younger control subjects, 55 years old, were at or below detection in viral gene transcription was mostly absent, and the results corresponded with low antibody EBV antibody titers. Moreover, increased antiviral antibodies have been observed only in the subjects who were also positive for viral DNA. Thus, prior studies of viral DNA detected support of the notion that elevated levels are due to increased reactivation and not simply and not simply to duration of the infection. So that they're a reactivation. Your long COVID is a reactivation. If you got sick, it's a reactivation of something that's already in you. The flu would be a reactivation of something. Fibromyalgia is a reactivation of, so you're having a flare. You're having, do you have MS? Do you have migraines? Do you see things? Do you have auras? Do you have cysts? And, what other kind of things? I mean, geez, just name them. Do you or anyone that you know have any of these things? You're susceptible. Your body's going to react to the chemicals, to the environmental influences. So that's what it says there. Okay, so let's see. It just continues to go on to talk to you about, more what races are at risk, Mexican Americans and so forth and so on. I put the link in so you can go read this. To read the entire thing, you have to sign up or something, but I could get this page and I just thought, wow, that literally, when I read this, I think to myself, I have to think like the devil, and somebody's just given me this information, and I'm thinking, so this virus is hanging out in a whole bunch of people on the planet, and it really likes the slums, okay, and people who are unhealthy, not like us. We are very healthy. We take care of ourselves. These are the schmuck of societies. This is the garbage that we're getting rid of. So you can't think of it like, we're killing people, or, because I hear you say, but they're, what are we, that's like, isn't that wrong? And then I just shoot you because you questioned me. First of all, don't do that. Don't you watch the movies? But the reality is that I just found the Achilles heel, or the key to the kingdom, or the corona hanging out, playing in everybody. And the more that it's played with you, the more likely it's going to continue to play with you. So now I need studies on what does it make? What happens? I need to know what expressions it has. Well, it gives you, it can give you shingles. I need a medication for that. It can give you, POTS. I need a medication for that. It can give you, fibromyalgia. Need a medication for that. It can give you MS. I need a medication. It can give you, Parkinson's. It can give you anything. It can give you fucking anything I want to give you, like a spy that just comes in and you feel a little prick, but you're not sure. Nobody was there. What was that? I don't know. Ow. I felt like somebody, and that. Woo, Twilight Zone-y stuff. That's absolutely what I would do if I was the devil. I would use that information to the hills. That's fantastic. What an article. Anyway, go read it for yourself. Share it out there. It's fabulous. The gesture told me. Bye.